does it take faith to be an atheist? I want to explore this question in this video. So come with me on this journey, look at the stars, and ask yourself some questions. Questions that define how we see everything that is around us. I have two Bibles here, and even if officially this is not a Bible, I'm going to read the first line and you're going to get me. About 13.5 billion years ago, matter, energy, time and space came into being in what is known as the Big Bang. About 300,000 years after their appearance, matter and energy started to mix into complex structures called atoms, which then combine into molecules. Okay, the other one. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Basically, 7 days later, everything was created. Now, why am I calling these books Bibles? Because, you know, they make a pretty similar statement at the beginning. Like, in the beginning, something happened. And they are making these statements without any evidence. Either you believe that there was a Big Bang and nothing created everything, or you believe that there is an intelligent design behind everything that you see around yourself. This book talks about the history of humanity from an atheistic perspective, and this book talks about the history of humanity from a theistic perspective. Now, I like both of these books. They are really amazing, and even if they are telling two completely different stories, they are well written. I mean, this book is even recommended by Bill Gates. That's a big thing. And this book is recommended by a bunch of people. Either you believe what is written here, or you believe what is written here. Or you have a third opinion, but there is no chance that you don't believe anything about the beginning of life. And I assume you've already asked the question, where did life come from? How did the universe begin? What is the purpose of my life? And these questions, actually the answers for these questions, define the basics of our worldviews.
Universe, I don't know. Big Bang, is that how all began?
Big Bang.
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think?
I would agree with the Big Bang theory, but I don't know. It's kind of strange that it's not really explainable. When you think about it, it doesn't make any sense.
It's just something that's accepted. I mean, by some people.
I think I believe in the Big Bang theory more than the God thing.
So it's easier to believe that nothing has created something.
Yeah, it's easier to believe. Yeah, nothing has created.
Do you think that you need faith to accept the Big Bang theory, just like you need faith to accept that God created everything?
I have I'm confused at the moment. I'm really confused.
I think, yeah, besides all that scientific things.
Yeah, it's more of a belief.
I'm sure that there is some kind of part that we must believe in, that there is a species that we don't know. So, yeah, maybe in some way that can be some kind of religion, but I think it's more science than religion. Sorry.
Okay, well, definitely I don't believe in that whole story about Adam and Eve because it doesn't make sense. But on the other hand, I don't believe in the whole story about evolution, because if monkeys, for example, are our ancestors, how come the evolution stopped? How come people don't become people from monkeys? That's the thing. That's the thing.
Today I want to challenge you to think about this deeper, because the outcome might surprise you. Richard Dawkins, for example, was an 11-year-old Anglican boy who's attended church regularly, and he started asking himself questions, and basically that triggered his way towards atheism. Then you have Anthony Flew, who was 81 years old, was one of the leading atheists, and he accepted that there is an intelligent design behind everything. So he became a deist. It's never too early or too late to ask these very important questions. What is your opinion about this? Everybody believes in some sort of a beginning of the universe, and that gives you the foundations of your worldview. Theists base their opinion on science and fate, but atheists tend to say that fate is not included in their worldview.
I just want to say I wholeheartedly agree with everything you believe in, and I'm not...
I believe in nothing. Let me make that clear. I don't believe in anything.
That's why they say that the Big Bang is just a theory. Like, we cannot say it happened that way 100% sure. Every honest scientist will say, we don't know how did life begin.
Well, then who did create the heavens and the earth?
Why do you use the word who? You see, you immediately beg the question by using the word who.
Well, then how did it get created?
Well, by a very slow process.
Well, how did it start?
Nobody knows how it started. We know the kind of event that it must have been. We know the sort of event that must have happened for the origin of life.
And what was that?
It was the origin of the first self-replicating molecule.
Right, and how did that happen?
I told you we don't know.
So you have no idea how it started?
No, nor has anybody.
Nor has anyone else.
When there is no explanation for the existence of the universe, do you just believe the universe is a brute fact? I'm getting the message that it's ridiculous for me to believe in a God who created the universe and me, because I have to ask who created God. All I'm doing is turning that question round and saying, the universe, you admit, created you because there's nothing else. Well, then who created it?
I understand you perfectly. I'm making that we both of us are faced with the problem of saying, how did things start?
Yes.
I'm saying it's a hell of a lot easier to start with something simple than to start with something complex. That's what complex means.
But I don't think so. If I pick up a book called The God Delusion, it's a pretty sophisticated book. It's got lots of words in it. But actually, as I look at page 1, I don't even need to go beyond page 1, I conclude that it comes from something more complex than that book itself, namely you.
Yes, I mean, obviously complex things exist.
Even if they admit that it's just a theory and nobody really knows how it happened, when you look at the textbooks in primary school, high school, when you watch the TV documentaries, it's like sold as a fact.
We're living just as it dawns on us that the Earth and everything around us was made by the stars. Boiling furnaces of hydrogen gas, like our sun, made even the atoms in your eyelashes. We've worked out that the universe is almost unimaginably ancient, about 14 billion years old.
And generations are raised in this belief. When you ask somebody in the street, what do you believe in? How did life start? Everybody will say, well, Big Bang, there was a Big Bang 13 and something billion years ago. That's what people think. It's a fate.
Thomas Aquinas in the 13th century was asking the same question. He said there must have been a time when no physical things existed, but something can't come from nothing. That was his view. It's just been repeated by us.
Something can come from nothing, and that's what physicists are now telling us.
Essentially, you can get a universe from nothing without any supernatural shenanigans. That basically, by quantum mechanics and the laws of physics we understand in principle, an entire universe with 100 billion galaxies, each containing 100 billion stars, can come from nothing because its total energy could be zero.
Of course it's counterintuitive that you can get something from nothing. Of course common sense doesn't allow you to get something from nothing. That's why it's interesting. It's got to be interesting in order to give rise to the universe at all. Something pretty mysterious had to give rise to the origin of the universe. Now, if you want to replace a physical explanation by an intelligent God, that's an even worse explanation. It's an even more difficult explanation. You can dispute exactly what's meant by nothing, but whatever it is, it's very, very simple. And why is that funny?
Well, I think it's a bit funny to be trying to define nothing.
Richard Dawkins says that even if it's against common sense, nothing is still something very, very simple. I mean, you just gotta believe that. He got this idea from a physicist, Lawrence Krauss, who wrote a book called The Universe Out of Nothing, or The Universe from Nothing. I gotta read that book, and I'm gonna do a review of it. But the problem with Lawrence's theory is that he takes the laws of quantum mechanics, applies them to his nothing theory, and he admits that he has no idea how did they come into an existence. On page 175, he says, you know what, I don't know the origin of these laws, but however they came into existence, it wasn't by God.
A God is a complicated entity which requires a much more sophisticated and difficult explanation than a universe, which is, according to modern physics, a very simple entity. That has got to be easier to explain than something as complicated as a God.
Richard is right. God is so much more complex than nothing, and obviously nothing is simpler. But both opinions require faith. Christians are accused that whenever they don't know some answer, they say, well, God did it. I think atheists do the same. If they don't know the answer, well, the selfish gene did it. Natural selection did it. The selfish gene had to survive, and nothing created everything. All the galaxies, the life, DNA, all the information, everything that we see around ourselves was coded into nothing. I mean, seriously. You gotta believe that. My purpose with this video wasn't to show that Christians are right, atheists are wrong. I just want you to think deeper about this topic, because all the answers that you have for the questions that we asked in the beginning define the basics of your worldview. They give you a sense of purpose that you're driven by. Next week, we're gonna have a guest from Oxford University. We're gonna talk about worldviews. What are they? Why are they so important? And yeah, make sure to subscribe. Comment on this video. I'm really curious. What do you think about these questions? Yeah, just suggest, criticize. I want to know, what do you think about this topic? Goodbye. I almost forgot to mention that we have a website, thequest.world, and we're on social media like Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm going to be very glad to see your support, and well, see you next week.